2020X 年。男は本当に退屈しました。彼は退屈を治すための答えを探します。彼が諦め時に答えを見つけました。一人の男対2199のスーパーファミコンゲーム。これはその男の物語だ。Hey guys, Cream here with another episode of Cream vs 2199 SNES games. Last time we played Biometal, Killer Instinct, and Las Vegas Dreams. Those games were fun, but I was not able to beat them. Let's see if we're able to change that with our next 3 games. First, the rules. Here are the rules to the challenge. I have to play all the games in the library, except the European ones. I'm sorry, Europe. It's nothing personal, I promise. I have to try to beat all of them, because I don't find any fun in just playing the game for 5 or 10 minutes and then moving on to the next one. For platformers, if I can't get past the first stage, it counts as a loss. Or in Mega Man's case, any of the stages available, it'll count as a loss. For casino games, if I make any amount of profit, it's considered a win. If a game has a scoreboard and I get on it, I'll count it as a minor personal win. But if I get the highest score on the other hand, then it's a win. RPGs will be completed to their entirety. And if I lose 100 times, or honestly, till I'm fed up with it, I'll move on to the next one and it'll count as a loss on the record. All games will be ranked with a Zelda the Cat rank, 1 through 5. Now that we know the rules, let's get into it. Before we get started, I want to clarify that I did not choose to play Mega Man X out of order, but that it was chosen via random number and letter generator. So yeah. Megaman X2 was released worldwide on December 16, 1994, a direct sequel to 1993's Megaman X. Megaman X2 did very little to differentiate itself from its predecessor. As a kid, I barely played Mega Man, but I played the Battle Network series, which we all know is vastly different from the OG games. I remember really enjoying the art of Mega Man X and its super badass main character Zero. So special shout out to artists Kenji Inafune and Hayato Kaji. This game takes place 6 months after the first one. That's right, 6 months. No time to chill, nothing. What a world to live in. Anyways, a brand new Maverick Uprising pops off and it's up to X, or Mega Man X, or Rockman X, or whatever you want to call them, to save the day. The Mega Man games are known for their difficulty. I knew this coming in, but this game is really hard. The opening stage was super hype. Lasers being shot everywhere as Mega Man breaks into this totally not evil robot factory. I made my way in and was encountered by this big robot man with dangly arms. I almost lost to this guy, but made it through. The game then comes to a very dark room where 3 figures are watching Mega Man jog. I started with Overdrive Ostrich because look at this guy, he looks goofy. Growing up, I watched the Roadrunner cartoons, so I had to get one for the Coyote. The stage is set in a nasty looking desert. Sandstorms are raging and there are robots trying to kill you. Fun! I learned very early on that I need the space bike to make it through the first part. So after a quick death, I make my way into this ostrich lair. It's pretty straightforward until you ride a freaking rocket onto the desert to fight the Overdrive Ostrich. I couldn't figure the pattern and lost to him. Sorry, Wile E. Coyote. Next up, I went to put my dukes up against the Wired Sponge. Wired Sponge looks like Kevin from SpongeBob.
Hi, Kevin.
The stage is set in what looks like the local botanical garden, and if the wavy lines are telling me anything, it's that it's humid. The stage itself was pretty straightforward until I saw this. Words can't describe the fear I felt as soon as I saw this abomination. As you can tell by my hesitation, I was not confident to move forward, but I tried my best. I would fall to the spikes again on the very next try. Okay, moving on. Next up, Moth. This stage takes place in New York, New Jersey, a scrapyard. First off, I'm greeted by a horde of enemies, but you know Mega Man and his lemon shooter would be okay. I would make my way through the dump to meet the mini bosses of the stage, Junkman and the pink bug that controls him. I don't know his real name, but I'm calling him Junkman because he's made of junk and lives in a dump. Junkman only takes damage if you shoot him right in the center. It'd be easier if he wasn't throwing trash and jumping around. Right when I thought I scrapped him, his pink friend hopped out and took me out. Okay, I see how this is. I tried avoiding the pink bug, but that wasn't getting me anywhere. Round 2 comes along and I maneuvered gracefully around the big guy, and instead of shooting the bug with lemons, I charged my buster cannon and let it bang.
Game time, baby!
I make my way deeper into this junk heap to fight Junkman and his cohort once again. This time they flung more and more trash. I ended up cornering myself and losing my life to them. I would try again and I would die again. Maybe I've been babied by the games of today, but this game is hard as hell. Against all odds, I managed to take out Junkman and the pink bug only for me to get jumped by green bugs and finish off by a robot with 2 cannons on his chest. Nice. Okay, we're 0-3 so far, but we can't let the world down. Next on the chopping block was Contender or Contendier for best theme in this game. Get it? Contendier? Because he's a stag? Right? Get it? Instead of fighting my way through a junkyard, I fight my way into a mountain. Just as I get started, I am baited by an extra life and get cooked by molten lava rising up the cavern. That's what I get for making a bad joke. Anyways, I tried again, and I skipped the extra life only to get cooked again. If Dr. Wily needed a way to kill Mega Man, all he had to do was throw him in a volcano. I would try a couple more times, but the result would be the same. Me dying over and over and over. I think I need a specific item or power to get past this. At least that's what I'm telling myself to preserve my ego. Next up, Magna Centipede. We start in the room where those 3 shadows were watching Mega Man jog, and I'm relieved to find out that they closed their internet browser instead of leaving it on megamanjoggingfootage.com. Anyways, I make my way in. Everything is fine until alarms start blaring and explosions start happening. If you saw my last video, you would know that I don't do well with a lot of commotion on the screen. I made it past that to deal with the building blocks of pain. I thought I got the better of them until I got sandwiched. Next is Bubble Crab, and at this point I'm desperate for a win that was not gonna come. If it wasn't hard enough already, I'm now forced to go underwater for this one. That's right, we got a water level. I flounder my way through the water to make it to an offshore facility. I thought my wall jumping skills were up to par, but alas, I was wrong. Something I despise about the Mega Man series is enemies respawning once you leave the screen. On more than one occasion, I would find myself stuck between a bunch of enemies because of this. Anyways, I keep pushing and get to face off against Bubble Crab. At first, I thought my lemons were getting to him, but I soon realized that I was doing little to no damage. After dusting myself off, I went to challenge Will Gator in his factory. Compared to the other stages, this one felt easy. As I was making my way through, I stumbled upon a mech suit. Oh yeah, I'm ready for the robot and robot action. After some time, the stage decided that I don't need this robot anymore. That's cool, but the problem lies in the fact that every time I try to park the robot to give myself some space to jump on the ladder, another robot would respawn. Ugh. I find Wheelgator lurking in a pool of what looks like oil? I get that it's supposed to look like motor oil, but it looks like a pool of blood to me. Wheelgator would hide in the oil and shoot out razor blades that would ride along the walls. I put quite a bit of damage on the gator, but he would take me out. Last, but certainly not least, Crystal Snail. By this point, I was completely demoralized, but hey, I got to ride in a mech suit again. Even a mech suit couldn't stop me from getting squished. I tried to get by until it was ultimately taken out by an iRobot encased in a crystal. Typical. I tried one more time to see if I could at least make it past this guy, but I couldn't. Man, 0 for 8. Doesn't feel good at all. As you can probably guess, Megaman X2 got a boatload of positive reviews at the time. GamePro gave Megaman X2 100, stating, "Megaman X2 is a mega monster. With all the right elements, it's one of the best installments in the series. If you dug the first game, this one's improved in almost every way. The new C4 chip energizes the already great graphics, the extremely responsive controls are perfect, and the levels contain more enemies and hidden locations than any Mega Man card yet. Mega Man X2 is excellent." They had me until the pun. I'm gonna give Mega Man X2 4 Zelda tokens out of 5. Even though this game is unnecessarily difficult, I had a good time playing it. This isn't a game you could just beat, it's a game you have to learn. I'm sure if I were to play it again, I could do much better than this go around. That being said, we'll be seeing this game again when we play the Japanese version of it. Deja vu, I just been in this place before. Zen Nihon GT Sensken Hyper Battle Game, or All Japan GT Championship Hyper Battle Game, was released on September 29, 1995. This is a racing game based on the All Japan Grand Touring Car Championship that ran from 1993 until 2005. Before I get started, I want to give a special shout out to Drift King Keiichi Tsuchiya, who blesses the cover of this game. There isn't a lot of info on this game, so please bear with me. This game was co-developed by Kaneko and CP Brain, and it was distributed by Banpresto, who distribute the Super Robot Wars games. Currently, Kaneko is no more, as they went defunct in 2007. I went to visit their company website on the Wayback Machine, but I couldn't really see anything as all the photos were broken. What I did find was the last game Kaneko made, Gal's Panic S3. Gal's Panic S3 was an action game where you uncover a silhouette of a woman with blasts. I leave the rest to your imagination. This game is your run-of-the-mill driving simulator. I'm not that into car racing, but if you're into that, this game is for you. My racing experience comes from Mario Kart, so I was a little lost here. There are only 2 game modes in this game, GT Championship and Free Run. You get to pick from a variety of real-world cars. I picked the Toyota Supra because I wanted to live out my initial D dreams. After a rather successful trial, I jumped into the GT Championship mode to see if I could win the championship. Before any racing is done, you must try out for one of the 3 teams they present you with. I almost went with the Toyota team, but Ken Wolf had the better offer. I selected the red test car over the blue one because everyone knows that red is faster than blue. I took the slow and steady route and almost passed my test, but I timed out. Cool! I went and switched to the blue car because everyone knows that blue is faster than red. I cleared the test with 1 second to spare to become a Ken Wolf driver. I believe the Ken Wolf car is a yellow Lamborghini Counteract JGTC. Right off the bat, the game offers me the option to trick out my car. I can change the engine, brakes, suspension, aero parts, stabilizer, and transmission. I have zero clue what does what, so I left it alone. Again, if you're into cars and racing, you'll get more out of this than I did. The game starts off with a free run, so you can practice on the course. That's super helpful because if I went into this track blind, I probably would have crashed way more. The 3-lap course record was 1 minute and 35 seconds, 0.72 milliseconds. My first lap time was 1 minute 58 seconds, 0.14 milliseconds. Ready to race. Before we could race, we got to qualify for our spots. My first lap was sloppy, but I managed to clean it up as the race went on. Because my time was super awesome and elite, I started off the race in 6th place. On the 3rd lap, something I didn't expect happened. It started to rain. All of a sudden, turning my Lambo was way more difficult. I went straight into a pit stop. Well, I couldn't find them at first. After a very awkward phone call, I find my pit team and then the mini game begins. The quicker I pressed the buttons, the faster my crew filled my car with gas. I was surprised I wasn't able to change my tires to rain tires given the level of customization offered in the beginning, but I guess we didn't bring them in the team van. The last chunk of the race was really intense. I was slipping and sliding all over the place and came within a whisker from taking 4th place. But I end the race where I started, in 6th. I finished behind that damn Toyota Supra and the Tyson Star Card 962C. Look at this car, it looks like a bad guy vehicle from Speed Racer. I couldn't find any reviews, English or Japanese, for this game. There is one 5-star rating on Amazon for it, but no corresponding text. If you're a fan of GT racing or cars in general, this game is deep and could really be fun if you manage to unlock the rest of the racing teams. I'm sure you can race in Kenichi Tsuchiya's racing team. I really like the visuals, and while I wish there were more game modes, I'm a sucker for a career mode. I'm gonna give this game 3 Zelda tokens out of 5.
Gold!
Zico Soccer is a point-and-click soccer management game released on March 4th, 1994 by EA Sports. Zico is a legendary Brazilian soccer player who led the Kashima Antlers to a J-League Suntory Series title in 1993. The game starts off by listing all of Zico's accomplishments. What a flex by Zico and EA. The game has 4 game modes: the EA Cup, the Zico Cup, Exhibition, and Training. There are 24 playable nations, and then there's Kashima Antlers. I decided on playing an exhibition to get a feel for the game. I wouldn't want to subject myself to a tournament mode if the controls suck. I chose the United States and pitted them against their CONCACAF rivals, Mexico. Remember when I said this was a point-and-click soccer game? You can play this game with the SNES mousepad or standard SNES controller. No matter what controller you use though, you navigate the menus through point and click. This got annoying very quickly. You control the players by pointing and clicking on the lower half of the screen. The problem here is that the cursor moves so slow. Early on, Mexico took control of the game, dominating possession and unleashing shots often. My goalkeeper was putting in an all-star performance in the first half. That's my way of saying that I couldn't keep up with the flow of the game because the cursor moves so damn slow. Right when I get my first counterattack of the game, the ref blows for halftime. The fix is in. Early on, I get a shot on target as my players are looking more livelier this half. It was a back and forth affair with lots of tackles, and then, with 53 seconds left in the game, a Mexican striker shot an acrobatic shot, and despite my keeper getting his hands on the ball, it still went into the back of the net. I tried to reply right away with a goal of my own, but I was unaware that I had to play a little mini game to hit the ball just right. The final whistle blows and Mexico run out with all the bragging rights. I couldn't really find any reviews for this game, so once again we're making history. I'm gonna give Zico Soccer 1 Zelda token out of 5 because this game was not fun. This is labeled a soccer management game, but it doesn't feel like I'm managing anything. Actually, I lied. I'm managing something. I'm managing to lose my patience. Also, I'm not much of a Kashima Antlers fan. I'm more of a Gamba Osaka fellow. Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to subscribe and ring the bell and be sure to follow me on Twitch where you can see me suck in real time. Link will be in the description. This has been Cream1337, and I'll catch you next time.